just got on the bus. All very exciting. Got picked up in the middle of Los Gigantes and now we're going to go pick everyone up. We were the first on the bus, so it could be a long pickup, but hopefully it means we get dropped off first. And we also get to see quite a lot of the coast as we go down, so it should be good fun.
But it was not him who finished off the conquering of these islands. This time, but it's a vegetation on terraces. Fig trees like citrus trees like 800 meters all the way up to tooth, and also you can use it in a lemonade. You can make a liquor out of it.
So we've stopped at a cafe on the way up. Get some cordado leche leche, which is like a interesting coffee here with like condensed milk, espresso and milk on top. I might try and get a walk around while here. It's in a half-hour stop. It's a kind of a restaurant break really, and then continuing up. The way up was super interesting. Climbed already 1,400 meters in altitude, so definitely quite a way up. And it was an interesting way up, both in terms of view, but also had a lot of history lessons about the island when it was formed, the habitation that took place, as well as a lot on the vegetation, which was really cool. At the moment here currently in March, there's a lot of almond trees that are flowering along with the cactus plants, so very, very interesting. Enjoying it so far. So this is the first viewing stop. Look at Teide over there, absolutely beautiful. And even on the way up you could see the islands from La Palma to La Gomera, and it was just stunning. Apparently you can't always see that every day, so we've got a really good day. Isn't that just gorgeous? So now we've just stopped at our next stop, which is to go see a rock formation called the Queen Shoe. This is the Queen Shoe. So we've stopped by some beautiful rock formations, and if you can see them behind me, absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to walk up the staircase. There's like a beautiful view all the way up there. Teide is just up there, and it is absolutely stunning up here. Really, really enjoying this. I'm just kind of getting an entire tour of the park. Wow. We are kind of walked up those rock formations we had a video of earlier. They're saying that when it's raining and snowing, it basically brings little particles down from all these rocks. It kind of creates like a sand flat that can also turn into a lake. The sun's up there, we've got massive rocks behind us, and Teide just behind. So our tour guide was saying the rocks here are all different colours, as you can kind of see behind me. It's like kind of greens, reds, blacks, light colours, because of their exposure to different minerals as they're coming up towards the surface.
Of these giant boulders, third type of lava. Have a look. Have you beautiful this black stone? That's the obsidian.
Just stopped at Le Papillon for a quick break before going to go watch the sunset. As you can tell, the sun is super low right now. I'm going to cover my eyes a bit. There we had a little taster of some of the local liquor, so cactus liquor, honey rum, and the goat colour milk coffee. We're going to go watch the sunset and then we'll be back here for dinner, and then we'll go off for stargazing. So super fun so far. As you can see behind me, some telescopes. There's 14 or 15 of them. Apparently they're mostly solar telescopes. Because they're about 2,000 meters up and also just close to the equators, there's very, very little atmosphere, which means it's super clear imagery. So the sun is now setting behind me. We're about 10 minutes off sunset, and you can see La Palma in the distance, just up here, kind of like two little humps like a camel. Super beautiful. And that's the sun setting. So the sun has just set. It was absolutely beautiful. Amazing to watch. I'm just going to watch the sky change a little bit, and then we'll be off for a 3-course meal at La Papillon, and then coming back for stargazing through the telescope as well as naked eye, and I don't know if that'll come out on photo, but we'll try. Arrived at La Papillon for dinner, and pumpkin, pork with some vegetables and brownie is what's on the menu. We're looking through the telescopes one by one.
What are we looking at now is right over here in this area. Telling you stories. So, at the moment you can't see, you just see one star over there. So what we're going to see now is actually where 2 stars died, and all of the material of the gases, helium and hydrogen, is being used.
Good to see through the telescopes and saw 3 different constellations, very, very different from each other. That was amazing to see how the telescopes move, kind of all preset, and then also got to look at the constellations in the sky. It was pointed out with a kind of laser pointer, so it was super easy to follow and really, really good fun. Okay, so I've been dropped off by the tour and now just walking back the last little bit home. If staying in a hotel, you can just kind of literally get dropped back to the hotel. But because we're staying kind of down by the port in the camper van looking over the sea, it's a little bit hard for them to get down with the winding roads, so we just got dropped to like a 5-10 minute walk off. And honestly, that was a absolutely magical experience. 100% worth the money, especially when you think cost of renting a car, not really knowing exactly where to go, not being able to look if you're the one driving, cost of the meal, kind of the cover at sunset. It was just so nice to have it all catered for. And actually, even though we left at 1:30 and it's probably now close to 11, so like a good 10 hours, it doesn't feel like it's been 10 hours. It was super well paced. Yes, there was kind of like an hour along the coast picking people up, but because we were first on, we had a really good time of just looking out the window and seeing what was going on, what all the different places were like. And then all the way up the mountain, we were kind of talked over history, geology, plants, etc., etc. Lots of the stops were half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe slightly less. But you had to walk around, you had to look at the view. So actually, it didn't feel long. It felt really, well, I've already said this one, I know, but it felt really well paced and really enjoyable all the way throughout. I would thoroughly recommend to anyone on the island. It was €90 for us. I think I'd go again if it was a different season. It was that good. anyone coming to the island who hasn't been on it, I would definitely recommend, like friends, family, I definitely recommend. I know there are a couple of other tour companies that do this, so it's worth looking into them. I can't speak to them at all, but it's a couple of things that I really liked about this. Like the guide was super friendly, the hotel pickup's really useful, and I do think the fact that it's really well paced. You have actual telescopes you can look at, you have laser pointers, you know what they're talking about with the stargazing, which was amazing, and the food was good in La Papillon. Like, it wasn't absolute, Michelin star quality, but it was really good, and I kind of felt at that point that actually we could have gone home then. Like, I felt like I'd already had really good value for money, really enjoyed the experience, and just kind of kept on being one-upped with amazing quality telescopes, followed by then amazing stargazing, and the guide was super knowledgeable, being able to talk about all the constellations. So, for example, on the constellations, we talked about the North Star, how it isn't necessarily the brightest star in the sky, that might be Solaris, how you can discover it through 4 different ways. Orion's Belt, all the constellations you can currently see. It was just fantastic. Definitely one to put on your list if you're coming to Tenerife.